Okay, so yeah, because I know a lot of people are trying to get to that. You know, that they've been done wrong by somebody close to them, by family, and you know, it's easy to say, you know what, I forgive you because I just don't want to deal with it. But then, as time goes on, sometimes after you told that person you forgive them, it circle back around. Like you see him again, or you see him online, or you hear about him, and then it's like, yo, I really don't fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? Like it come back. So I'm like, how do you fully let that go?
Because this is the thing, and you this is the other thing that let me just say this: you have to be willing to let them go. Some people are in denial that they need to let go, and some people don't want to let go yet. And you've heard people say, "I'm not ready yet," and you got to respect that. Yeah, I respect it when people say they're not ready, but at the end of the day, you don't want to keep on being miserable. They're not even worried about you. So when you say that, it's a form of PTSD. You know what I mean? So it's a form of trauma. It's a form of like flashbacks coming, or you hearing something, or something is a trigger. But you got to keep at it, and you'll know when it releases. You'll no longer feel that anger towards them, that bitterness towards them. That you know you no longer carry. Let me say this really quick. For me, I look at people spirit to spirit first. Spirit to spirit is you know, looking at them with your spiritual eyes instead of looking at them in the, yes, you see them in the physical, but you look at them spiritually. And for myself, like how my gift works, I operate out of words and knowledge. I operate prophetically. I operate with discernment. So I could tell you, like after the show, we gonna have I'm gonna tell you a whole bunch of stuff about you, a whole bunch of stuff that's about to come up business wise. I promise you. Okay. But so and everybody's gift works differently. So I have the discernment to see people spiritually. I have the prophetic gift to see people spiritually. So I can I live in Vegas, right? I'm walking around. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes when I have like family in town or whatnot, and stuff, I start to hear stuff. I start to see stuff on people, and I walk up to them. 2 minutes later, they crying in my arms, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, how'd you know this?" Like, so not everybody has that ability, but the way my spiritual gifting works is that I see people spirit to spirit. So it's you know, and you can, and this is the thing, people can pick up on that, but you have to come out of denial first, because if you're still looking at people as, oh, they did this, oh, they did that, then you're not seeing them for who they are spiritually. Like when I see people, I see the hurt, I see the brokenness. So I'm not gonna treat them in a certain way. I'm gonna operate towards them in love, because love breaks down all those barriers. But people want to be so mad nowadays and so miserable, but a lot of times the underlying thing of it is the fact that they haven't done their work, their internal work. They don't know who they are. They don't know what their journey is supposed to. They don't know what their spiritual gifting is. They don't know what their purpose is. So a lot of people walking around mad at the world or mad at their spouses just because they don't know who they really are inside. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. So with the spirit talk, right? Do you believe that, you know, you hear that when you have sex with somebody that you're swapping spirits? Is that something that you believe in?
I've heard of that. I believe certain things to some degree, but I feel like you're speaking in particular to, you know what I mean, when they talk about the man laying down with the woman, and if he, you know, releases inside of her, then she picks up certain traits, and that's what a lot of women that have had multiple partners, or, you know, many, then they'll start to, you know, psychologically run rampant, if you will. And I have looked at several videos and done some research, and you know, scientifically they say it's true. You know, so it, you know, and also people talk about soul ties. You know what I mean? So
soul ties, yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. So you know, is that a real thing, or?
I believe it is. And you know what I mean? I feel like you can always speak things into existence with your mouth. And even this is something that I've practiced, where it's like, you know, and it's a simple thing where I give so-and-so back their stuff, and I'll take back mine fully. We are no longer linked. We are no longer, I release them to themselves. I take back what's mine. So, you know, it just depends on what you believe. If you believe it, then it works. That's the way I feel about it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people are tied to people through a physical connection, and hey, Sean, through a physical connection. And, they do end up going through these mental and psychological cycles that actually run them crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
I wanted to pick